And now we're recording. Deus Ex even calls out and to the main character in front of everyone else, like, oh, BT dubs, this man over here, he's my bestie. Basically, he's like, yeah, he's my friend. Okay. Like, put a fucking target on the kid's back, why don't you? The main character has a diary of everything he sees. Everything. The dude was a sad sack. He never once wrote down any of his feelings or what he was doing. Just anything that happened near him. It'd be like 425, saw a dog piss on a hydrant. 426, 3 girls crossed the road. 1 laughed at me. 427, my life is fucking bleak. Like, that's what he, like, actually, that last one he would have even written because that would have been about him. He just wrote about everything around him. So technically, he kind of has the most complete diary. However, comma, there is a crazy chick who loves him. And I'm not going to say why. I'm not going into any details. But her diary is, and this is from the beginning, her diary is she only ever has in her diary what the main character is doing. The main character crossed the street. 3 girls were mean to him. What bitches? 2 minutes later, he got ice cream. It looked delicious. 2 more minutes later, he stopped to tie his shoes. Her diary only ever tells her what he's doing, which means before the show, what was she writing? She's literally been stalking the bastard, the main character. She's been stalking him for a while. Her diary is literally just whatever the main character does. So she's like straight up crazy yondeer. So yeah, like that's basically it. Like, she's gonna murderate everyone because she just loves him that bad. If anyone even comes close to possibly even making him not like her, they're dead. It's a horror show. It's basically, it's not a horror show. It's like an action fucking crazy thriller, but it's a horror show because you know they're all going to die, except for it's like, instead of like, oh no, don't do that or you'll die, it's, oh no, why did that other character say that to our main character? She's dead now. Like, you're on like the murderer's viewpoint of watching people die. You're like, why would you do that? Why would you do that, you poor deluded bitch? You moron. Like, at some point there's some chick who's like, hey, the pink-haired girl with you, she's lying to you and doesn't trust you. Or she's lying to you, don't trust her. So the main character's like, and like looks at her like, would you lie to me? What? He doesn't say anything, but he gives her one of those looks like, would you really lie to me? So what does the diary say? Diary says, fucking female person spoke to main character. Main character looked at me distrustingly. Now I gotta kill a bitch. Like, that's straight up what her diary says, is like, female character made him look at me distrustingly. Now I gotta go kill a bitch. Fuck it. It's a fantastic show. The other characters all have amazing powers and shit. I'm only focusing on the main character. It's just, I've not seen a show do that. Like, it's very rare that I see a reverse horror show where it's a horror show, but the viewpoint's always from the murderer, basically, or from like the only person the murderer is not gonna kill. And you're just like, why would you do that? You better run, bitch. Oh God, the bus is shaky. I'm going to fall and press my tits on the main character. Look at this cutesy anime trope. No, the whole time you're gonna be like, why did you touch him with your tits? You just signed your death warrant. All right, how many episodes before Big Tit Bitch is dead? How many episodes? You got 3? I got 2. I got 2 episodes tops before one of those tits is flying through the air separated from her body. All right, we got this. Who's got what on the pool? It's a fantastic show. Yes, no, to be clear, I don't think his last name is Machina. It's implied his last name is Machina, but he always ever says his name is just Deus Ex. I need him to finish these walls. Yeah, it's a battle royale to decide the next god. Before battle royales became like a really major thing. No, yeah, some of the people competing are kids. Like there is a kid, so his diary is essentially gibberish. I feel sorry for the kid. His diary is written with the intelligence of a child. He wrote about stuff around him, not what happened to him. I vote 30 seconds, basically. But yeah, no. If you haven't watched the show, I would recommend it. It's genuinely one of my like top 20 recommendations, maybe even top 10. Like I haven't actually sat down and organized what anime goes in what slot, but like not even one of the ones where I'm like, oh, it's so bad it's good, you should watch it for a laugh. No, it's just a really good show. I think it's got 2 seasons. I think it's got 2 seasons in a movie. I think it's got 2 seasons in a movie. Was not Angel Beats, though I understand why you would think I was talking about Angel Beats. Angel Beats is just a sad fucking show. Angel Beats is weird. Angel Beats is... Angel Beats is giving your pet dog cancer so you can watch him die. Yeah, that's how I'd categorize Angel Beats. As weird as that sounds, anyone who's watched Angel Beats, is that an incorrect description? So here's the issue. No, not really. Angel Beats is just too depressing. It's a good show. It's a show to watch, but I wouldn't ever say that that show defines a trope or that show is easily referenceable. Like Future Diary, the Yondir character in Future Diary was so fucking good at being a Yondir. She's like the trope setter for Yondirs in future shows now. She's the Yondir, I think, I'm like 90% certain, that inspired Yondir Dev to make the game Yondir Simulator. Like, she's the one that is now like the trope. She is the baseline for all future Yondir characters for how well she was as that role. Like, that is good. Angel Beats is just a depressing fucking show. A dog died because she had bone cancer. I don't think it's accurate. No, like, not to go against your personal feelings of it. That's not what I'm saying. The actions in the show is that. The actions of the show is coming to grips with someone essentially having a slow death, except for the main character has to cause it. Some of them had brain aneurysms. One of them, I think she got raped. Like, all the people in it have horrible fucking endings. And it's coming to terms with a slow death or with the death of a loved one, except for the main character has to cause it. I wonder if one of them actually died of cancer, but a couple of them had slow, grim deaths, and the main character has to cause it, or at the very least cause them to come to terms with it. Like, I didn't just like, I found it humorous that that's the description I came up with, but I didn't come up with that description to be humorous. Like, I'm gonna stick with that description.
I can't do that there.
Yeah, it's a good show, don't get me wrong. It's not a defining show. Why are they not building this? Is there something here? I'm gonna cancel that and just order it again. Anohana is sad, but also good. I don't know Anohana. I do know one along those lines where the main character is like an investigator and he has to travel with a cyborg or a robot, and they have to essentially shut down and or arrest robots that have run for too long. because at some predetermined amount of time, old age gets to the robots and they just go crazy slash senile, which is basically just an anime about dealing with dementia, near as I can tell. But as opposed to Angel Beats, the main character is not causing it. That's like, it's not a gripe with Angel Beats, but it's like the one weird thing that's like, this is sad, even for a sad show, is that the main character has to do it. It's like a mercy killing. The main character has to have these people die. Oh, I'm not saying that there aren't other Yondir and other good ones at that. Just, I'm fairly certain, you know, at least right now, is the baseline stereotypical one. Like, I think she's the one that's inspired current versions of all Yondir. Because here's one. Give me the character name in Baka Monogatari. Which, by the way, I keep wanting to have an intention to watch, but I never do. I know it's got some kick-ass fight scenes. Baka Monogatari is translated as Ghost Story or Mon Story. Yondir. Top 10 anime Yondir anime characters and anime thing. I'm spelling that way horribly. There are plenty of guns, but you knows what people think of. Yeah. Trying to think of who's Yondir in that. Baka Testa Shikanju, Megami Shimizu, Yuka Manasi from 11 Eyes. Harry the Scarlet Ammo. Okay, they're stretching that. That's not what I would reference it. Amane Misa, again, I think these all fit the definition, but it's not what I'm thinking of. Like actual genuine murderous. There we go. Top of the list, murderous. Shuffle, School Days. All right, Nikki. I was hoping that they would list one from Baka Monogatari so that I could find the character you're talking about. And I realize this is as unscientific as you can get. Someone did a top 10 Yandere characters in anime, and the character from Baka Monogatari wasn't even listed. Not saying that whoever the character isn't good, just they're not defining. They're not used as a defining character template. Okay, the walls got finished, which means build construction wall. We have completed. Fuck you. We have completed a layer of protection. It's not as well known a series. I get what you're saying. How do I define this? Or how do I describe this? It's not as well known a series, kind of proves my point. Future Diary can never be described without that character. It's a well-known series because of her. Whatever the character is in Baka Monogatari, I don't think that she is extreme. Again, I don't know the show, so I don't actually know. I don't think she is as defining enough, because if she was, more people would have heard of the show. I don't know of people who introduce Future Diaries to other people without, you got to see this crazy chick. Routed with logs. It's a stretch of Yondir. It's not well known, but good as long as you don't have a tendency to seizure with flashy screens. If I had seizures from flashy screens, that would have happened a long time ago. And if I developed something now that caused me to seize from flashy screens, then I'll be dead within a year because I'm just going to keep watching anime and anime is going to kill me. That is what's going to happen. Because they always seem to pull out some random ass scene where you have a fucking Porygon and all the kids around Japan are flopping on the deck like a fish. Aye, aye, Captain. I had a reference in there. I don't know where I was going with that. Get out of here, mudfish. Oh my God. You're making this hard to identify. Huzzah. Huzzah indeed. Yuno is basically the second main character considering how much screen time she gets. She's not as murderous. Who's not as murderous? I think the one girl from Data Live would count as well. I don't know which one you're talking about. I think I do. Maybe. Is it the time one? That's the only one I can think of. I never watched the show all the way through. I watched enough to get a good chuckle. And then at some point they're like, oh, we have more episodes and more seasons. And I was just like, I was just in this for the chuckles. I don't have time for this. So did you know whips are OP? I did in fact know whips are OP. This is why I traded for some whips earlier. This is why I trade with the humans for their silver and platinum whips. Because whips are the greatest. They pop the heads so good. Senjo Hara. Yes, it's the time one. I figured it was her. She was bonkers. Why you know use elves as whip traders? Because the elves' whips suck? Also, they're elves. Why am I giving them my money? What is like, what do they have in terms of whip technology? Is it gonna be some stupid grown whip? Like, I don't trade for much anything from the elves in terms of weapons. Elves are good for animals as far as I'm concerned, and that's about it. All right. All right, we'll let them build that. We got the walls done. We'll get the floors. When the floors are done, I will pop the wall to have a floor going. Actually, as a matter of fact, why don't I just do that right now? Since I'm not doing anything in there, leave the floor there. When the roof is done, I'll pop a floor in the middle to connect it to the stairwell, and then I'll secure the wall. A glazer has been possessed. Huzzah. He's glazing. Yeah, like it just started going, and it's like, this is not a setup that is worth continuing. What are these? I gotta get everything in here out.
You there, I'm building an artifact. Give me the workshop.
But I was just about to...
Give me the workshop. Give it to me.
A leather works.
Okay.
Why are underwear dangerous? No, I wasn't aware. I don't think I ever... Can you even make underwear? I've never done anything with making underwear. Yeah, no, I don't make underwear. Yeah. What? I've never given them that garment. Are you sure you're not talking about the other game like Caves of Kood? Because you can't make underwear. They drop from dead elves. Ah. Is that who's here now? That was the humans here now, but they're not trading. They're trying to leave. Jesus. Jesus. Boom, boom. Then they can't replace them and things get itchy. So what, if you just keep having new ones, you'll be good? Like if you keep getting dead elves like it's an addiction. They're addicted to the underwear. Hold on. You need to let the underwear rot before taking it off. Yeah, because it'll eventually pop away. That's not that bad. Not deadly. They just give them some negative thoughts. But they need to take them off to replace them. I don't understand. I feel like it would just fall off eventually. Like rotting clothing falls off. Clothing can rot off a body. All right. The wall's been done. Down below, we made steel. We did mail shirts. And then I don't know what I did. So I'm gonna grab high boots now. Not what I wanted to do. JMQ, steel, high boots. Give me 10 of those. How much steel do I have kicking around? Please be lots. 115, good enough. If we look at our army, military, equipment, metal armor, metal shield, headwear. That's what I did last time. I gave them a helmet. All right, next I need to work on shields for them. But I mean, they've been getting training. They've been doing shit. Even the archers are in here doing something. Combat drills, sleeping, combat drills, combat drills. So skilled. Hunter. So what have we brought them up to? Sort by squad. Read. Collapse all. Or left. Military. Collapse all. Yeah, they're getting their dodging and discipline up. They're not getting much in terms of Mark's dwarfing or anything like that. It's okay. But some skills better than no skill. The melee dwarves, though, are trained as fuck. Look at this. This man dodges like no one's ever dodged before. They're getting so skilled, they're leveling up biting. Jesus Christ. And kicking, striking, wrestling. They're about to get yacked. Still need to work on them getting swimmer, though, somehow. That's like their big weakness is water. Feel like a modded Dwarf Fortress lets you create a building called a pool just to train swimming. But that particular clothing item, it can't be seamlessly replaced, and dwarves like them, but should not get access to them, because if they do, they'll immediately get the itch and negative thoughts flow. They'll bite our enemies to death. I am legendary this time around. I am legendary. Cannot make soap anymore. That's fine. How much soap did I make? Do we have enough soap for the foreseeable future? 1 llama soap, 2 pig soap, 21 horse, 22 dog. Yep, I'd say that's enough soap. Plenty of soap for the soap lords of soapferness. All right, we need to start moving more things into the base, though. What is this? What are you? A finished good pile. Any particular settings? No particular settings. I just need a finished good pile. Okay. We're about to have no available dwarves as I make a gigantic finished good pile. Wait, that's right. I keep forgetting this. I can do it from here, can't I? Wait, no, I can't. What am I talking about? Why have I lied to myself? Now I'm sad. All right, drag you to there, and we'll just remove what's on the outside. Ooh, doo 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 doo. There we go. New, finish, good pile. Also, while dealing with that, purge the one over here. Begone. Begone awful pile. And what is left? What are you? Furniture. Lots of furniture. What is this a statue of? This is a finely crafted diorite statue of a giant octopus. This is a rendition of the Enchantress of Gilding, an image of a giant octopus and the Tiger Woman. The giant octopus is embracing the Tiger Woman. Wasn't this in the temple? I thought we installed this in the temple. I think somehow it got taken down. We'll put it back. I think I started out with bad stats. Who was I gained by Coca-Cola? So 480 lower resolution makes the screen of text pulse every 3.5 seconds. But 720 looks good. Why? Why would it pulse? Coca-Cola, the hunter, is picking up equipment. Coca-Cola has 2 notable kills. A dwarf and another dwarf. But he's also killed 6 other creatures. An eagle, a hornbill, a coati, a monitor lizard, another coati, and a third coati. Coca-Cola 5 recently thought I was close to waterfall. I'm so relieved due to being near a waterfall. Coca-Cola 5 is unbelievably strong, amazingly agile, incredibly tough, indefatigable, and very rarely sick. Coca-Cola 5 likes basalt, brass, lapis lazuli, helms, coins, the sound of the tenderest bright intricacies, and the sight of the wispy wonders. When possible, she prefers to consume plump helmets, bumblebee meat, and dwarven sugar. She absolutely detests rats, however. She has astounding feel for the position of her own body, unbreakable focus, a stunning feel for spatial relationships, great intuition and iron will, a deep well of patience, a great feel for social relationships, but she has really bad memory and a lousy intellect. She dreams of creating a great work of art someday, and this dream was realized. Boodly 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 boo.
Sorry, I can't do it, sir.
Dun, dun.
Sir, I hate saying no to you, but no.
Dangerous. The terrain is way too much danger. What are we ever going to do with such high levels of danger? Second best part of this is if I hit escape on that, or whatever to stop pumping, the water will now drain slowly because it couldn't be fully pressured. So now we have a period of time. Oob. 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 That was supposed to be channel, not downstairs. Boom, boom. Boo-doo-dee boo. Beedly boop boo. Wonder if I could like take a side thing to dump water on itself. That would be big brain move. I'm gonna do that. I like the idea of big brain move. Channel down here. That'll bring me there. So I can also remove that ramp. How goes it, Brook Baron? Oh, formal blizzard, it goes well. It goes well indeed. I've trained 2 squads of semi-agile dwarves into a bundle of dwarves that can yeet themselves across the map as strong as anyone has thus yet yeeted themselves. We call them the Yeet Crew. Forever have you seen a crew capable of yeeting so brilliantly. Look at that dodging skill. Legendary +5. Raw level 70 fucking 2. The game only actually goes up to level 20, and fucking our soldiers if allowed, have a 72-83. Who is the best fighter? Not even dodging. Who's the best fighter? Hellfire Skyrim, the best fighter with an 80 fucking 3. Holy crap, how long have I let these assholes train? Eldritch, the best dodger at level 19. They're almost legendary plus 5s. No one's 20s. Jesus Christ. What does the fighting skill even do? Because that's not the melee skills. I never even thought about that. What does that skill do? 83? How fucking wrong donkulous is that? Hold on. Dwarf Fortress fighting skill. What does that direct skill do? Combat skills. Tell me about your combat skill. Also, I gotta look into wrestling skills. Bitor increases whenever a character chooses to bite an opponent. This is probably the most effective attack for a creature whose biting causes a symptom. Dodger aids them in avoidance, causing enemies to miss. No one's probably gonna hit these people ever. Fightor increases with each melee attack from or to a target, no matter what kind of weapon is used, and can increase rather quickly. It influences your weapon accuracy. Oh shit, kabibbles. Hellfire Skyrim's got that Sherlock Holmes shit. Fucking enemy shows up and he's like, distract him by calling out his mother. When distracted, he will provoke an emotional response. Lean to the left, jab him in the abdomen. Oh wait, that's right. Haha, this man doesn't do leg day. Grab him by the leg while jabbing through abdomen. Pull him down on my fist and wear him like glove. Then when he is worn like glove, turn hand around and use his mouth to trash talk opponents. This will dishearten them. That went dark a little fast, I admit. That went places I wasn't planning. Jesus Christ. What is there? Who's the best striker? Dragoman at level 24, and the best wrestler is Hellfire at level 28. But I'm getting them armor, so they're leveling up their armor skills. Domine is a legendary +2 armor, and Coca-Cola 5 is a legendary +2 shield. And of course, everyone has been doing their weapons. Level 70 fucking... He was the fighter, right? A level 83 fighter, level 70 swordsman. Wrong computer. Jesus. I feel sorry for anyone who fights that man. I feel sorry for anyone who fights that man. Is that screen still up? I want to see what the actual math is. There's a mathematical equation. Dwarf Fortress fighting skills. Like there's a mathematical equation that actually goes into this. A masterwork does 2, legendary does 3, right? For how effective it is afterwards. But he's a swordsman. Allows the character to use long swords more effectively. What does that mean? Outstanding research on several combat skills. Yes, this is what I care about. Fighter and weapon skills give both increased offense and defense. So he can parry like a god. Parrying happens quite a bit if you're more skilled than your opponent. Yeah. High fighter skills much better than being completely untrained, but is trumped by high weapon skill, particularly given that fighter trains at the same time as weapon and faster to boot. High dodging is a massive advantage, but how does it work? Oh, he doesn't actually say what the math equation is. I wanted to be like, oh, I roll a nat 1 on my d20. My modifier is 5 billion, bitch. No, I just want to see what the math was. I mean, if there's a Kawadi, then why don't we just kill it? Like, I might, oh, fuck. If it wasn't for the fucking venom, I might just send my military into the cave to fight the Forgotten Beast. They'd probably win right now. Will we be invading some of their military? No, I have an issue with invading. Every time I start to invade anyone in these games, my game goes buggy. Every single time I start to invade someone in these games, my game goes buggy. All right, so who fought the Kawadi? Who fought it? Was it Eldritch? With his Desis Bardom. All right, Eldritch, what is your Desis? What is your Des? So some of them are using artifacts, mind you. Let's be clear about this. Some of them are using artifacts. Eldritch is going back to train. What do you have for your equipment? What is a Desis Bardom? Eldritch is using a, oh, that's right. No, it's not. He just named it. It's just a bronze short sword. That's all that is. Desis Bardom is a bronze short sword.
Pest. Eldritch slashed the Kawadi in the left rear paw with his bronze short sword, and the severed part sailed off in an arc. The Kawadi then missed on his retaliatory strike. Eldritch then kicked the Kawadi in the right front paw with his right foot, and the injured part exploded into gore, opening an artery, bending the right front leg, tearing apart the fat, bruising the bone, and tearing a tendon, in which case the Kawadi then immediately died.
It wasn't even his weapon. His fighting is so high, he was like, and he kicked its paw so hard, the cat exploded. When I did my ninjas, I think dodge jumped to 80 on everyone. They never got hit ever. Never even built a hospital. Oh, we need someone to invade us so we can destroy them. Yeah, if someone invades us, we're fighting them. If I could provoke a war, I would. But every time, because like I'll go 5 or 6 forts without doing it, and I'll be like, all right, maybe it's about time we do it. And then I'll go out and I'll invade a couple people and it'll be fine. Nothing ever wrong with actually invading. But there always comes a point shortly after I invade, and this may just be correlation, not causation, where I start having crashes to desktops. And we have to do save scums to try to figure out what gets past it. And we never figure out what causes the crash. And then the next season, we have more crashes to desktops. Middly, like I said, it's probably more correlation than causation. But we always seem to be fine until I invade people. Olon Tithalogen. The Glazer has created Ostar Zokal, a horse leather tunic. She claims it as a family heirloom in the name of Link. I swear to God, it's just a fucking, it's a tunic. Worth 47,520 dwarf bucks. This is a horse leather tunic. All crafts dwarfship is of the highest quality. It is encrusted with cushioned gabbro cavicons and encircled with bands of pomegranate wood and trillion cut pyrites. The object menaces with spikes of gabbro. On the item is an image of the Judge of Glumness, the bronze breastplate in horse leather. On the item is an image of Onol Tin Steps, the sleek rope reed head veil in gabbro. On the item is an image of Ingiz Skullsaber, the dwarf in gabbro. Ingiz Skullsaber is engraving. Dark relates to the masterful engraving, the Scraps of Horror, created by the dwarf. Where the fuck is that? The dwarf Ingiz Skullsaber for the Torrid Ores at FogBasement in the late summer of the year 186. On the item is an image of Monom Tradeflesh, the dwarf in steel. So he made the red. He made the red tunic from Legend of Zelda. What weapon does my dwarf specialize in? Dragoman.
Let's go see it.
You specialize in axes. Yep, you're a tree hater. You are our woodcutter, so you just stuck with axes. You are level 47 in axes. But Domine kills all the dwarves. I just noticed that. All Domine's killed is a dingo, 1 dog, 1 cat, and 15 dwarves of our base. Luckily, none of them appear to be named. Thank you, Domine, the Dwarf Slayer. I think you have to look up damage values for that. That might be what I need to do. What's my spear level at, says Coca. Everyone wants to know how their weapon does. Coca, okay, let's just do it this way. Hold on. I'm gonna sort by name. Coca Koala. You are a level 38 spear dwarf. Domine, level 59 axe dwarf. Hellfire, level 70 swords dwarf. Ginger Sarge, level 65 spearman. Eldritch, level 65 swordsman. Cyrilak, level 68 hammer dwarf. Oh. Big Orange 415, level 63 hammerman. Dragoman, level 47 axeman. And Mr. Man TM, level 33 hammerman. There's only 9 dwarves here. So if we can get another person to join the military, I think I have a whip for him. I have a shiny sword. What is a good material for axes? Adamantine. Then steel. I made some of these earlier. The problem is, though, is a bunch of your dudes named a weapon. If they have a named weapon, I can't take it away. Because that's now like their weapon. So that's what they're going to use. Doesn't matter if I have a better quality weapon. That's what they're using. So that dwarf that had the copper, Eldritch, he's not switching. He'll just have massive negative thoughts for using the wrong weapon. So yeah, there is that issue. They're very trained, but they're also trained in Garbo weapons. That is very, very dwarfy though. But I love my copper sword. What is my weapon? Dragoman, I just read them to you. Oh, you mean for its material. Okay, I'll give you that one. Dragoman, you are wielding... I don't know yet. You're going to pick it up. Do you have it now? Dragoman, I don't think you have a named weapon. You're not carrying one for sure. You are carrying around one of the steel axes I made. So perhaps yours will become a steel axe. Eldritch says, I want a sweet. Eldritch, I can get you a sweet. I can get you the sweetest sweet made of orange juice. There's one. How are you doing, by the way, Formal? Have you been having the super happy fun time? Eldritch is sweet. And also, do we have a mod in chat? Someone shout out Formal. Shout out, not shout out. Please do not shit on Formal. I'm gonna go through the list at some point, figure out who my mods are, redo the mod list. My entire existence is just screaming at school, welcome to my existence. Ghost word, I knew it. Through all these forts, she's still after me. My entire existence. Formal Blizzard are awesome. I should change that to is. Formal Blizzard are awesome. I'm gonna try to do the whole thing in horrible English. Formal Blizzard are awesome. They recently have been playing Dragons, or no, the game would not be. They have, damn it. I was on a roll. They had been recently playing Dragon's Dogma content. Check them out at Formal Blizzard. Drop them a follow if stream next you want to see. There we go. They beans. God, I feel bad doing that. She beans, all beans. I mean, you might be the most active one I have, Formal, I'm just saying. I have mods. I've rotated in mods. Admittedly, a bunch of them are like, I'll do things, but don't, rely on me too much because I'm not that active. Though, yeah, no, right now you're the only mod on. I have 2 people in chat right now who have expressed interest in mod, but then also told me that I should never mod them because if they do, they will immediately abuse the powers, which is a bit awkward to tell someone, but I respect their honesty. Yeah, exactly. Tuchulu, mod me, see what happens. Are you mod? I didn't see you in the mod list. You were mod, I think. Oh yeah, you're mod. Why didn't I see you in mod list? I don't even see you as on. That's weird. I will. I told Formal to. He tried. Wait, what did you tell me? He's saying that I said I have people in chat who have expressed interest in being a mod, but have also warned me to never mod them because they will immediately abuse their power. And and Coca-Cola said I will immediately abuse my power. I told Formal this too. Yeah. He was saying he warned you that he would abuse the power if you made him mod. All right, let's switch this around. We're gonna, last time I think we need to go in there. What I wish to do is I'm gonna build I need to remove these two, go out here and dump water right there. I wish to dump water there. I just need to dump enough so that those move. I don't think they can pressure. The whole purpose of this is so that they don't pressure. So it should not be that big of an issue. We're still building the ceiling. I had banned people I don't like, even if there's no reason to. At least everyone in my chat is honest. Oh, if you mod me, I'd take over the world. Just, I can't be trusted with that kind of power. I'd immediately go to the president and be like, hey, you're doing what I say, and I'm banning you from strategist chat. And then they do it because, you know, it's me and everyone's terrified of me. And I'd be like, yeah, I'm the greatest. And then I'd have everyone give me the cheeses. I need more cheese, especially American cheese. American cheese is the greatest. I don't know why we even talk about other cheeses. I almost tried to that guy who came in and said dead game. I still don't know what the hell he was talking about. Is he talking about like Dead Space? Like, I have a sneaking suspicion that he was trolling, but I swear half these trolls go over my head. Half of these trolls go over my head, and I'm like, I don't even know if I'm supposed to ban you right now. Are you being a troll? I don't know what the fuck's going on. Like, he just said dead game, and I don't know if he was, because I think I was talking about different things. So I don't know if he was talking about Dwarf Fortress or reference to something I said. There was no context. There was no context in the statement. It was weird. Great Jesus. Cyrilak was going to make food at some point. I assume he's still eating. Food is either too good or his house is on fire. I'd be like, you're tasting waifus is trash. Get out. Wait, am I supposed to be spooked of you? Are you supposed to be spooked of me? I think he was attempting to bash on Dwarf Fortress V, calling it a dead game. In what regard? I don't even with you explaining it, I still don't understand the reference. There's no such thing as a dead game. Well, actually, technically there is. I retract that statement. That was the statement made in error. A dead game, as far as I'm aware, is a game that is not being supported anymore by its developer. And with that definition, I would definitely say Dwarf Fortress is the least dead game of any game ever. I think the only game that's gotten more attention has been when he was still alive, Gary Gygax to Dwarf Fortress. Not to Dwarf Fortress, the fucking Dungeons and Dragons. I thought D and went with Dwarf. I've been infected. I am Dwarf now. We're all dwarves. We're too tall. We're too tall. No. 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 Actually, I think I went halfling with that one. Most of the trolls I see say some Zoomer shit that I don't know what it means. I'm supposed to be a Zoomer. I mean, yeah, basically, probably. I'm just like, what? I don't understand what you said. Is this supposed to be some joke that I'm too independent to understand? We're very permissive as a community. We consider any talk about obscenity is fine, but never say bad things about cheese. People need to get a priority straight. Cheese too expensive, boycott so it goes down in cost due to supply and demand. But like, even if he, let's operate right now in the conversation that is what he was doing. Let's operate with that as the assumption. That wasn't even like a good way to do it. Didn't make sense. I didn't know if he was a regular or if he's a new viewer. Just randomly, I noticed 5 minutes after the fact that in chat, 'cause I was talking to everyone else directly, he had randomly had one line by itself that said dead game. I didn't notice it until like 5 minutes after the fact. So it was like, what were we talking about at that point? What is he talking about? Don't play Fortnite with me. I have a guy who comes asking me to play Fork Knife with him, and I just say no, I don't think I will, and he leaves to come back next month. I swear a lot. I'm not Christian. He just comes by once a month like, hey, you ready to play some Fork Knife? No, I'm not ready to play no Fork Knife yet. Okay, It's like, what's his name in Papers, Please? The guy who keeps, Georgie, I think, who keeps slipping you the fake fucking papers. You're like, stop wasting my time. This is funny, but go away. Are you ready? Are you ready to play Fork Knife? Why you no play Phasmophobia like all those Zoomers? I do play Phasmophobia. I am fucking great at Phasmophobia. I'm so great. I accidentally, so we're gonna do confessional time. I need someone to be the preacher for I've sinned. I am sorry. I'm sorry, great gaming gods. But the other day I was playing Phasmophobia, and this person said something that was so stupid, and I wasn't thinking. It was like the last game before I was going to sleep, and I wasn't thinking, and I said some elitist crap. And I think I made him cry is the real reason why I have to do a confessional. I genuinely accidentally, or think I accidentally made this kid cry. And it was a simple mistake, but I had already gone through other games with other people having to make arguments about, no, that's not how the game works. So the kid just said this one thing. I know what he said too, I'll get to it. But without thinking, I just immediately replied. And it wasn't until afterwards I was like, wow, that was actually pretty fucking awful. Hope Blizz on deck. I changed my PayPal and it's canceled. Feels bad, man. So what it was is, like I said, I've been having arguments with other people throughout the thing. Right now, I'm on the beta.
Pope Blizz forgives you, but you need 5 Hail Marks for that one.
Oh, hail Mark. Thy beard in heaven. Beard hairs be thy drain. I tried to go with a rhyme. I fucked it up. Please forgive me. No, so I'm in the beta branch right now, so I can do the new prison map. It's slightly buggy, but it's got some new mechanics and things like that. It's got new noises. It's some variety. Quite frankly, I'm probably just gonna switch back out of the beta. I like the prison. It's good, but there's a lot more people not in the beta branch. So you keep running into a bunch of these weird pricks. And I have to keep arguing with them. And the thing is, a bunch of them make the argument that they have higher levels, so whatever they say the game works is right. And it's just not true. Like, what some of them say is just how it's assumed the game works. And it's like, well, that's not quite how it works. So I forget the individual arguments I've been fielding all night, but I was essentially in a grumpy mood. Which, grumpy and then tired for me is never a good mix. I've genuinely nearly caused an international incident before. Grumpy and me tired, never a good mood. Never a good combination. But anyways, so the kid, and he's not a squeaker, but you can tell he's like a recovering squeaker. So, okay, whatever. We're sitting there and everything is done. And when we're in there and we get the ghost, we get like all the side objectives. And the last objective is like one of the easiest ones. It's an objective that I never have to argue with. I never have to argue how the objective works. And the optional objective is stop a hunt with a crucifix. You have the crucifix on the ground. The hunt starts, the hunt is negated by the crucifix. That's the optional objective. Not once have I ever had to have a disagreement or argument over how that objective works. And this kid has been running around the whole time. Again, he's eager. He's not nothing this kid has done is wrong. My arguments were with other people in other games. And we're sitting there, we're good, and the kid runs out to the van. Like I said, not quite a squeaker. He's recovering. And he looks and he goes, oh, all we have left is crucifix. Stop a hunt with a crucifix. Well, the board says that some objectives only complete when you leave. So we'll throw the crucifix on the ground. Let's just leave right now in the truck and I'll complete it. We're done. And without thinking straight up, I was like, that's not anywhere close to how that fucking works. That's never been how that fucking works. You're like level 83. How the hell did you get to that level and you don't know how a crucifix works? And like, I was already in the room just staring at the crucifix, waiting for it to be like, to pop or hear anything. And this just left my mouth. Like as that, not malicious, like there's the words, but like not with a malicious intonation, just like, that's never been how that works. How the hell did you get to level 83 and think that that's how that works? Like literally just cut this kid out the kneecaps and he doesn't speak. He doesn't speak for like a few minutes. And then finally someone said something and he replied to them. And it sounded, you know, that sound where like someone's kind of on the verge of tears, where like they're talking normally, but you can detect the extra moisture in their throat. That's what the kids sounded. I felt bad. I felt really bad. But at this point, it was like, you know, I can apologize, but I just fucking took this kid out the knees and he was just collateral damage because I was having arguments earlier. I felt real bad about that one. I really did. After that one, I was like, I was thinking about going to sleep, but now I definitely know I need to go to sleep. All right, we're done. Also, thank you for the resub. We're all recovering squeakers. Wow, rude. That's but like, it's one of those ways where like saying it matter-of-factly, I think actually made it hurt more, if that makes sense. It was just like the deadpan way I said it. Like afterwards, the kid went all quiet and I was like, wow, I just felt bad about it. I was like, Jesus. Because the kid didn't say anything like, oh, I know better. He never said anything in a way to be argumentative. He was just wrong. And technically, the way it's worded as an experiment, I could see someone wanting to experiment to see if that accomplishes the quest. Again, everything he said was right. As in let's do an experiment sort. But no, I literally was just having none of it. I was just like, nope, that's not how this fucking works. That's never been how that fucking works. I have no clue how. I basically implied that he's never had to play the game and he got carried the whole way. This is what I applied, is like everyone's had to carry his load the entire game. Felt real bad about that. That's why you should never play with RNG strategists, kids. This is not a channel for you. Kids be gone. This is not for you kids. No, we're for kids. I'm here for education. I'm here to help people of all ages and gameplay capabilities. Get off my lawn. Make me feel like I'm an asshole. I'm used to this. Well, like I said, because I view myself, good, bad, or indifferent in games, I view myself as someone who is a good educator. There is a class in the military called the Warrior Leaders Course. It's where they teach you how to be a sergeant and how to order people to do things knowing full well that they're probably going to die. That's one of the reasons why some of the leadership classes in college right now, I genuinely don't take seriously when they talk about lead someone. They're like, oh, be prepared for stress and let's learn how to handle confrontation. And, you know, there's stress in the work environment. Any of these classes, I'm like, are you a social studies class? I thought this was management. My high point for that one, like literally they mark what your strengths are. Like, hey, here's a rough idea of the type of leader you are. And my weak point is tactical leadership. On the ground with things happening, I tend to just try to divest responsibility to leaders under me. I trust that you're good at this. I'm not going to micro you. I'm going to assume that you're good with whatever you're doing and not think to like double tap and like make sure that that guy's capable of handling what I just told him to do. Good at like leadership, strategic decisions, but like literal on the fly delineation of tasks. Either I hold on to too many tasks or I delineate to someone and then I never check to make sure that was done. I'm just like, all right, this is on your plate. This is the type of thing you're good at. That's my weakness. The strength was anything involving educating, explaining a situation to someone, breaking down a topic, because there were some of the things where like you had to be the teachers and shit. All my high points were all the things that was like getting someone to understand something. And my weakness was making sure afterwards that they were capable of doing the thing that they should know. That was my weakness. And if that's like your evaluation, even when you're in the military is like, you're a fantastic teacher, that's what I pride myself on. So if it comes down to it where someone's wrong and then I just cut them out at the knee, that's not a good way to be a teacher. That is not a good teaching standard. That is some elitist crap right there. Education is not on Twitch, kids. RNG strategist, hit me with that shit on Sal Nation and see what happens. I'm really good. Hit me with that shit on Sal Nation. What? What is Sal Nation? Are you talking about Sal's stream? Or are you talking about the server? I'm the opposite. I'm really good when shit is going on, but when shit gets chill, I get really passionate and tell people to fuck off because we going this way. Wait, what is hit me with that shit on Sal Nation? Okay. I think I know what you're saying, but rephrase that, please. I don't know what you're saying. I might be tired. Oh my God, I still have 2 hours. Why am I so tired? I slept in late too. Oh God, must be the Rona. I'm dying to it. The bats got me. The bats got me. Lord Jesus. Lord Jesus, I'm sorry. The Minecraft server says some elitist shit to me. Server, say some elitist shit to me. Talk shit, get hit. Gotcha. But no, I genuinely strive to never, ever be that guy. I will have opinions on people, as we had earlier, that I believe are actively going out of their way to fuck something up. But no, always assume that there's just possibly some ignorance involved in education is the corrective course. Get better chest, Blizzard. Get better chest? You mean like a chest piece or a chest containing item? Why have we not disengaged this? We're busy. What are we all busy doing? Are they still hauling items? Why? What's interesting to me is that RNG strategist seems to lack the ability to empathize because he assumes everyone is like him. I mean, yes. Fundamentally, I assume everyone is like me. Yes. I believe the defining feature of a human being is the direct ability to learn, not off of your own mistakes, but to learn off of others. That as not like as society, not as a society, but society as a species is a defining trait to humans. The ability for one human to take the last step of another human and go, wow, that's where he ended. This made a great progress in science. I must now start here and go beyond. If that makes sense. Quite frankly, as far as I'm aware, if you for some reason refuse to match that, then you are failing at the one responsibility of being a human. If someone is refusing to learn or actively going out of their way to do it wrong, then they're not doing the adaptions. Well, like, as far as I'm like, that is the one thing I think everyone should be held to. I'm not saying if someone doesn't know something or for a prolonged period of time, they don't know something, it's not necessarily their fault. I'm talking about like when active effort is put in. After that, though, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, as far as I'm aware, it's just how the human species works. Otherwise, why the hell do we have the brain we do? That's like there's a bunch of defining features, good and bad, but literally human is brain. Like human is weird confluence of 3 brains. And the one that does the thinky think is why we are good. I thought that until the kids in my school made a propane tank into a bomb for fun and then freaked out when they were near a bomb. I thought that until the kids in my scout troop made a propane tank into a bomb for fun and then freaked out when they were near a bomb. Well, wait, what? They made the bomb. Why are they should know it was a bomb. Not everyone is, though. Not everyone is as good as you. There might be people that are less clever or more clever for that matter. Yes, that I understand. I'm not going to, again, it's not, I would never, ever be like, why didn't you realize this? I realized this. Why did you not realize this? It would never, ever be like that. Mostly because I don't realize the simplest shit. As far as I'm aware, my operational status in the world is with a glorious lack of common sense that I make up with judicious applications of logic. Like I would never ever hold ignorance on someone. There's a difference between ignorance and refusal to learn. Someone can be wrong and ignorant and not them going into religion, but let's say it was religious. You're not going to fix them, but it's also not their fault. That is not what I'm talking about. If someone is wholly religious because of what their community and their upbringing was, and you for some reason think it's something different, that is not what I am talking about. I'm talking about like, hey, this is how you carry that without breaking your back. All right. Fucking 4 weeks later, the person does not ever adapt no matter how many times you correct them and they break their back. When they've broken their back, I don't have empathy for them. Like, I told you not to do that. I told you how to do it correctly. We went over this time and time again. This is what I said was going to be the consequence of you not doing that. You appear to understand the idea of how to not break your back. You've now broken your back. This is what you thought was going to happen. There's a difference between ignorance and just, I don't know, stupidity. And I believe you can educate most everyone. Yeah, not everyone has gone through the same life experience. People are actually different. Yeah, that's why education's a great, fantastic thing. Remember when I argued about stone big jugs or whatever because it was a weird workshop? You understand it, but you don't act like you do. It's like you know something, but you don't actually apply it unless you get confronted to it. What? There's a weird flavor on that. Why did I put that in my mouth? It's a pen. I get ink? No. Sometimes people need to make their own mistakes is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, of course. Maybe I'm saying this wrong. They like to call that faith. God was supposed to protect them, and some people keep making the same mistakes. Am I allowed to hear the story of you about to almost cause an international incident? All right. Well, yes, I can say that story. That one was just... The kid was a thief. This is nothing to do with education or anything like that. This is just tiredness. So I, at the time, am stationed in Japan. This is most of the time good, but once a year, there is a cycle in Japan, particularly around the bases and such, where the students, to prove that they are the latest students to be studenting, will protest the army base being there. So they'll have protests and stuff like that. This is not directly related to the protest, just around that time period, we'll say. Now, as a natural thing, we are allowed to leave the bases. We're allowed to leave the base, do things, but around that time, we're not supposed to. So there's always this weird ramp up of, all right, everyone needs to be on their best behavior. We're going into Japanese protest season, basically. And then afterwards, you're kind of good. The Japanese people, by the way, particularly around the base, are horribly racist, but in a very polite way. They're like the nicest racists, I think, in the world. They are upfront in your face about it, and they'll apologize to your face about being racist, but they will not be racist. To be clear about this, Japanese people, least on Okinawa, horribly fucking racist. So there's also, you always have to be careful when around or even dealing with internationals, because some of them, again, and it gets worse as you go into protest season, try to find ways for soldiers to get in trouble. Females that will lure troops back who are drunk to their house, not do anything. I'm not saying like a false rape case or anything like that, but like, oh yeah, no, don't worry, it's okay if you're out past curfew. Come back to my place, sleep it off, whatever. And then as soon as you go to sleep, they phone up the NP saying this soldier broke into my house. That's happened multiple times. So just to be clear, that there is a time period particularly where don't do anything, because the locals or some of them could be of malicious intent and may try to hold it against you or blow it out of proportion. This doesn't involve anything directly with the locals, but this was out and about, so you need to understand the area, the situation you're in, the environment. So we're coming back after a 24-hour shift. I'm tired. I would like to go to sleep now. I am coming back from missile location A, we'll say. We have different areas where the launchers are to look at and see if Korea or anyone else is shooting at our targets. Because North Korea likes shooting missiles a lot, particularly at Japan, or in the waters in the middle. The soldier that I am with, it is his vehicle, and he is the guidon bearer. The guidon is this, it's a tiny flag, but it's supposed to represent your individual unit. Alpha battery, Bravo battery, Charlie battery. This is a tiny flag for your individual battery that has all the awards that your battery has accumulated throughout its entire existence. This battery went to fight in Iraq and got this award, or they did this, or they got this presidential citation, blah, blah, blah. They have all these little things on it. And it's, actually, no, that was more for a battalion, but anyways, little battery one. And there is a hazing game involving these things, where the military has forbidden hazing, and the military has also forbidden inter-unit fighting, but for some reason they still do it, and you can get punished if you fail it, but they claim they don't do it, which is weird. So the idea being that if another unit gets your flag, and remember, it's not during a set time, it's just randomly. If another unit gets your flag, they're like, oh, you left your flag unsecured. Your unit is not, the implication being your unit cannot be trusted with security or secure things. And in a Patriot unit, you're doing strategic level defense. Like, we all had secret clearance. I've had tons of things redacted. Like, so I don't know if it's particularly worse, because we're all supposed to make sure we have complete control of every fucking classified thing known to man, but whatever. So, soldier that I am with, his window is open a crack, because we're in Japan and it's fucking hot. And I don't mean like, oh, it's a crack. I mean a crack, because it also could rain randomly. So the window is closed so much so that the little overhead thing doesn't let rain in. Well, this dude in this other unit is like fucking anorexic. Like, the dude should not really have been in there as far as I remember. Fucking snaked his weird anorexic hand into the fucking car and popped the lock on it. Popped the fucking lock on it, got the flag out, and then they let the sign behind saying, oh, this wasn't fucking secure. Neener, neener, boo-boo. So we go to track them down. It's like, all right, where are they? They're off post with the flag. They're off post at a fucking soup place. So I want to go to sleep. I've been up for 24 fucking hours staring at this little screen, waiting for North Korea to shoot a missile at me so that I can either stop the missile or let it kill me. 24 fucking hours. Now we got to go off post, drive fucking like 40 minutes, maybe not that long, probably like 20. I was tired, to this fucking place, go find them in there and then have a conversation. So we get in there and it's him. I think he has his NCO there. Our like, but our, I was about to say battalion, but our squad. What is the thing above squad? Why am I forgetting the word right now? First squad, second squad. It's not battalion. It's a B word. B sergeant. I'm forgetting what the name is right now. God, where is my brain today? But anyways, second tier up level command. My boss's boss is there. And we're talking with them, and they know what they're doing. They're doing this like jackassery thing of like, oh, why don't you tell me why you're here? Basically doing it at a slightly raised elevation to see if our chain of command hears so that we can get our asses ripped a new one. So they're toying with us. They just need to give us the thing back. So it's like, all right, so they're discussing, well, why do we get access to it? My answer, because you broke into the car like a bunch of thieves. No, you left it unsecured. No, it is unreasonable to be able to be completely safe from him getting his fucking arms into places. The dude like has a penchant for reaching shit that no one can. I swear to God, the guy was like an acrobat. It's not like size. The dude can like contort his fucking whatever. Anyways, this dude's mystical abilities aside, it's like, no, you're just a fucking thief. So on and so forth. Oh, you know, better stand correctly when you're talking to me, have respect, all that good jazz, blah, 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 blah. We got this because you were unsecure, so maybe you should do this to prove you can have security, so on and so forth. And he's going through this shit. Fucking levels of assholitude that are unnecessary. And he's doing this in a public place because, one, like our leadership is there and other representatives of the army are there, but also the locals are there. So everyone is just supposed to be on the up and up. i.e., I'm in public, you're not going to make a scene. My patience has snapped long time ago. So finally, the more agitated I get, and I've said before, I'm very loud. I've never not had anyone in the military not be annoyed standing next to me if I'm trying to make myself heard. I am louder. I have one time been able to prove that I've been able to be louder than that weird radio thing called an LRAD that you saw in the news a while ago during the riots. And they're like, oh, this thing's a dangerous weapon. It uses sonic. I can be louder than that. I can. Admittedly, not if that thing's like cranked a turbo mode and held on and put up against a wall to echo the correct way or whatever. Just point to point, you can hear me screaming. It might be louder than me in decibels, but you can still hear me. It can't drown me out. I can be loud. So I'm sitting there trying to talk to them and I'm losing my patience, and he's just going in circles, basically like, oh, this is your fault, we have this. So finally, like, straight up, and again, the dude I'm talking to is like my rank, but I'm also talking to a dude who's above my rank, and the dude who's like 2 ranks above him is behind me. I'm in public, lots of Japanese nationals everywhere. I go, you're a fucking thief. I hope you burn in fucking hell. Give me the goddamn flag, you son of a bitch. So now I'm just screaming at this dude, and the entire place stops. The entire fucking thing. Because even though that in and of itself is rude and unexpected in public, and you could say slightly, in today's terms, cringy a bit in public, that's by American standards. Every country in the world thinks America's a bunch of loud assholes. No one else is loud like we are. No one raises other countries don't seem to raise their voice that much. So by Japanese standards, this is like a declaration of war. Who's raising their voice? Who's so loud? And it's not even like regular loudness. This is, I am passionate loudness. So this has gone through the building. Like the fucking workers in the back have stopped. So straight up, I realized what I do, and I had to like turn around and look at everyone and be like, sumimasen, excuse me, I'm sorry, so on and so forth, and just leave. Like, don't even stick around to try to fix that shit. Leave that to the NCOs. Whatever is going to happen is going to happen. Just go back and sit in the car wait for things to handle. And I got a talking to. The Arachno dude is a thief. Legion Battalion. No, not Battalion. There's one below it. That's the thing that's throwing me off. There's your squad. What is it called? Why am I not remembering the name right now? But anyways. Should have fried him outside of Wasabi. I can be louder than that, just not for very long. The jet plane engine. I'm leaving on a jet spear. So yeah, so I end up going to the thing, letting everyone who's in there essentially sort it out. And then later, like the next day, early, I get called in by like my unit. Like I think one of the I don't think the first sergeant was there, but I think it was heavily implied that the first sergeant was in the know, let's say. And it was, well, here's the situation. Got the flag back like immediately, because basically the dude who was 2 levels up from 2 or 3 levels up from me, who is higher than their dude, if that makes sense. Basically, he like whatever he did, his thing was along the lines of, what the hell did you like? What are you doing to make strategists do that? Because again, I'm animated, but I'm a calm person. So whatever happened was along the lines of like, why are you provoking him? Well, like, I'm fairly certain that's how that started, because we ended up getting it back. That was so secondary to everything else. That didn't even come up in any discussion. However, there were some people who had to be talked to, yada, yada, yada. Disruption, the facility building owner talking about the soldiers causing disruptions to work and so on and so forth. Basically, it was heavily implied that a lot of people had to go to bat for me, or high enough people had to go to bat for me. I did not get in trouble, but there was every implication that any and all goodwill that I have earned over the course of my time being there by being as awesome at my job as I was had been spent in that one check. Like it was literally a no one gets one, but this is your one type situation. That's what the conversation was like. It was heavily implied that a lot of things were happening, and like the paperwork was written up all the fucking way up the chain of command. And it was like, everyone has the paper. No one's going to sign it to start the procedure. Don't make anyone remember your name for the next couple of months. Because if anyone remembers your name, they're going to go, oh, I should do that paper. It's basically like, it was the conversation from God moment, was you've spent all goodwill. Don't even show up to work late. or the fucking sky is going to fall on you for what you just pulled. The idea being, though, the reason why, and this is the thing, one, because I'm amazing. From what I the person who was there in my chain of command knows me very well, and he knew the schedules. So basically it was done as a extenuating circumstance, because strategist does not work this way. He should not have been there, and the other soldiers should have handled it differently than how they did. And it was along the lines of, you know, this could actually, like, even if it wasn't that, this is interrupting rest cycles, and this could interfere with like the defense of the base. So let's just say everyone did a bad and ignore this for now, is what happened with that. Beer makers, server of the peace, Bosniak breeders. What would be the punishment for that? I should have been demoted to E1. I was a specialist. I should have been all the way down to lowest rank. 45 days of extra duty, not counting the 24-hour shifts. So that would have been broken up weirdly. And then a 45 days of like half pay, like, and then a big old mark on my record saying this guy's a fuck up. Because the problem is is not just the problem, but a problem is any chance or anything that causes an issue, I'm forgetting the term, the dignitary from Japan, their diplomat guy, basically sends shit to the Secretary of Defense saying we need to change the status of forces agreement. The dude will use like any excuse to be like, hey, we want less soldiers here, essentially, or we want them to be fiddling around less, or we want more control, things like that. Anything and everything is used by like the politicians of Japan against America. So like, you really shouldn't cause major waves. Did this one reach him? I don't think so. I genuinely don't think this one reached that high, but the implication was we can't let people do things that could, like, we should be making an example out of you right fucking now. Like, you should be the one to make people for the next 5 years think, oh, I better not. Like I said, I was in there, I think, for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, like not even being yelled at, just getting you like a bullet was going for your head and you sneezed and didn't die. Like one of those moments of clarity from God, like you need to understand how close you are. But you were looking for his brigade. No, I am not. Brigade is above battalion. I'm talking about something below, or yeah, brigade, battalion, unit, company, or battery. Below battery, you are divided up into 4 units. It's below battery. It's a designation below company. Brigade is 2 things above company. And if there was a viewer on earlier, Storm, that I know from the military, if he was here right now, he would be making fun of me. He would be making fun of me for being a big old derpy head. Military. What is above a squad? What is above a squad? Platoon. I knew it was a plosive. I thought it was B for some reason. It's a P. Platoon. The platoon sergeant. The other soldier had a squad leader there, an NCO in E5. The person who was there for mine was a platoon sergeant in E6. It was a plosive. I was close. Just shh. Platoon starts with a B, of course. Backwards. I may be tired. Eldridge says he wants a suite. I gave him a suite, marking that as complete. Tachulu says he wants to be in the military. I will get Tachulu in the military. But yeah, so that was the time I caused an international incident, and I should have been destroyed. I genuinely don't think anyone else could have done that, particularly at the time period I did, and essentially walk away. I walked away with a gun pointed at, not realistically, figuratively, with a gun pointed at my back, but I was able to walk away. In related notes, nobody took our fucking guide on again. Oh yes, a platoon. Can we get a statue of an elf stealing a thing or something to immortalize that asshole? Yep. All right. Oh, that's right. I moved the mason all the way over here, didn't I? Wait, no, wait, where's the mason? Oh, I never built him yet. I mean, I built him, but I never built him in a new location. Built a floor for him, but that was about it. But yeah, no, like the dude for the initial thing was clearly at fault. Like, had this been something regular that had gotten stolen, you could easily have argued unreasonable amount of security was required. Separate event. I don't think we ever figured out who did it, but like everyone's minesweepers got stolen. No one ever figured out where the hell they went. Our NCO went in because we were getting ready to do a thing, the physical test portion of it, and it was missing, like from the area where it's locked in behind padlock and everything. And he reported it, and he nearly got in trouble. The chain of command started doing shit like, you owe us so much money for that shit, and we're gonna start like maybe criminal investigations, because it's like, it's a minesweeper. It's a military minesweeper. You better be damn sure we're gonna get that shit back and figure out what happened to it. But he got let off like the news went around that he was fucking screwed because he was signed for it. And then he was let off the hook like 3 hours later when every unit's minesweepers were gone. They tried looking for it. As far as I'm aware, they never figured out what happened. However, this one first sergeant got screwed. I don't know if his career got destroyed, but I think his career got destroyed. He did not deserve this. Like the amount of shit that he got, he did not deserve. I want to make that clear. But he was an asshole first sergeant, like a complete dick. Apparently to such a degree that it was known across the units how much of a dick he was. I never fucking noticed. Either that or he barely affected me. I don't know. So they had everyone do you have evidence on who stole this? Let us know now. If you did it, you're off the hook. We just need this shit back now. If you know who it is, maybe we'll give you a reward. Apparently, multiple soldiers from across all the units said that this first sergeant did it because he was leaving. He was set to leave and go to another unit. Like he was supposed to be going to the special class so he could get training to be promoted, so he could be above a first sergeant and shit. But a bunch of people said he did it. So they kept him there for like a year and a half, 2 years while they investigated him for like everything, meaning he missed his class, he missed his window. Even if he's proven innocent, this looks bad on him because now he has 2 hours or 2 years where he didn't do things. The Army has a thing called a non-compete. Basically, if you haven't hit a certain rank by a certain amount of time, they kick you out. They don't just let people stay in their jobs. Either you're good enough to get promoted, or at some point we need to kick you out for better soldiers. So you don't get a 2-year extension because they wasted 2 years of your life because someone lied about it. Yeah, they as far as I'm aware, they ruined his life. I don't know what happened in the long term, like if he ever actually ended up getting promoted and things, or if he was just permanently screwed because of that. But I do know that he got in trouble for it. As far as I'm aware, he got off because he didn't do anything. And quite frankly, I don't think anyone would even accidentally think he did. There would be no reason to do it. But generally what I think happened is just everyone knew he was leaving, so they want to throw him under the bus. I now sold a tendon in my lungs? What the fuck is going on in chat? I feel like I'm missing something. Also, to Chulu, I got you in the military with a whip. Why? Statue of a dwarf woman carrying large jugs. It's in Dwarf Fortress. They have tendons in the brain and everywhere else. Minesweeper that's on the PCS. Just use the search bar in Windows 7. Oh my, what's with all the possessions? Shh, people gonna die. What? Oh, did we have another mood again already? Is that what you're saying? Oh yeah. Well, I think she's grabbing shit, so she should be fine. Maybe. I see though that through that conversation, I went over the hour, about 30 minutes. Jesus. All right, so for those of you who are watching this when I upload it to the archive channel on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. Catch you guys next time.